Hi, it's Jason Lazzotti here, and it's Saturday, May 14th at 11:16 a.m. 2022. And I've chosen to turn the camera in front of me. I've been seeing lots of beautiful birds actually on the drive over to Sonoma from San Francisco or Pacific area. And so lots of beautiful birds of prey and other storks, things like that. So I want to make a recording. That's a pretty boring video right there. When I turn the camera, sometimes it makes a horrible sound on the recording, so I apologize for that from previous recordings. Protect your ears. I'm going to lower the camera just a hair. Okay. I'm just trying to be careful of just randomly getting people who may or may not want to be in a video right now. So please respect people's privacy when it comes to this video. Hopefully that's enough said on that. Okay, so why do I want to make this recording? I want to make this recording into sum total because I'm 51 years old. I've lived a bit of life on planet Earth in a pretty fortunate place here in California, in the Bay Area. I've been in a relationship for a very long time. I've been out of a relationship for a very long time. I have not been in a romantic relationship since 2013. As I stated, it's 2022. And it's funny, there's a lot going on right there in my view. So that slowed down my roll a little bit there. I've shared a lot about that on other videos, and that's kind of what I'm about to really go into. And actually, it's funny, that distraction kind of focused me a bit. I have shared about distractions coming into our energetic field as being something that we should actually anticipate. If you feel that you are raising your vibration, overcoming troubles, overcoming something that is hard, working on yourself, trying to do good, there's lots of different ways to explain it. Raise the awareness of yourself, the world, others, all of above. Raise your vibration. Energetically, that your surroundings can possibly respond and react to either slow the process, to distract you, thereby basically answering the energetic call, if you will. However much energetically you put out, there will be a response. This is true in our physical world, and I believe that it's true in our mental world too. And what truly is our environment but a combination of both? Our thoughts and our actual reality around us, the physical things and the mental things. That's what makes up reality. It's not one or the other. It's both. What we've never talked about is that what goes on in our head, quite literally, has an energetic value that's felt in our real world. So, during those years of having a relationship and not having a relationship, growing up in this fortunate area, as I spoke before, the focus of this video is to talk about how throughout my life I was raised in such a way to have a positive outlook on psychology. My parents, I believed in psychology and saw it as a science that is a worthy science. And the reason why I say that is because when I was younger, we were taught about the fact that psychology came out of what they used to call like the Dark Ages. Psychology was not seen as a hard science for a very long time. And what was taught was with a lot of hard work and a lot of effort and a lot of good research. Psychology came out of the Dark Ages, like I just mentioned. It became more trusted and cared about by the rest of the scientific community. Psychology was not always accepted by the medical community. The medical community wasn't always accepted by the scientific community. The scientific community wasn't always accepted by the spiritual community. And here we find ourselves possibly where the scientific community doesn't always accept the spiritual community. Throughout my life, I turned to psychology to try to help with understanding why relationships in my life, whether it be with myself or with others, were the way they were and are. For a long time, being a young person, into being a young adult, into being an adult, I kept turning to psychology and I kept learning things. What slowly started to happen is I would have questions that I could not find answers to. I would have problems that I would not find solutions to. I would turn to psychologists. I would turn to therapists. I would turn to psychological books and articles. I would turn to the scientific community. And I started to come to a consensus that there was aspects of my life that I could not find answers to. Things that I was going through, and the people that I love and care about were going through too. Not getting answers. And these weren't just purely like financial situations where financially I couldn't get the information. I was getting the information. I was getting the answer. I was asking the question and I was being told, we don't know. We don't have an answer to those problems. This is a little shocking. Because as a young person in this area, in the school systems here, I think that my original understanding would have been that psychology has the answers to most everything. If you pay attention and you are a good person and are open and loving, with the help of being a good person, maybe some little good luck, good people that you're dealing with, and a well-rounded understanding of what they used to call pop psychology or popular psychology or even hard psychology, that you could get through pretty much any relationship. that if everybody was on board, if people really care about each other, that there would be a solution. With enough therapy, with enough counseling, with enough sessions, that there would be a resolution, that there would be two people getting along and having a good life. Well, I don't know if this is true. I didn't stop looking. I didn't stop having questions. I didn't stop wanting to know what was going on with the interactions between myself and others. And I definitely wasn't ready to either give up on psychology or not hold it responsible for itself. Psychology makes a lot of claims, made a lot of claims to know how to help with conducting our relationships. And this is an adult perspective. This is an adult conversation in the sense that I'm being serious here. You know, we are supposed to conduct ourselves in society rationally, heartfelt, you know, not just out for ourselves. You know, what does society mean? What are the social, what is social? It's getting along. First and foremost, it's getting along. And if getting along means that you stay away from others because you can't behave yourself, then that means that. In many different aspects. Or if you can behave yourself and you're fun to be around, then, you know, there's fun to be had. And so on and so on and so on. It's interaction. The thing is, though, is that there's some things left out of psychology, the way I see it. There's some very fundamental. Here's the thing. I am very glad to say that these are fundamental, simple things. Because the reality is, it's as far as what I've learned in science, if they were not simple and they were not easy in the sense that to understand, not to incorporate, not to change to, not to a lot of different things, but to understand, then they probably wouldn't be true. If I was about to give you some very complicated pathway to add to psychology, I don't know. No, it's quite simple. It's having an awareness that we are all energy. I mean, scientifically, that is a true statement. We are all energy. Anything we perceive as solid to our touch, to our sight, is a field. This is what science has learned. There is more emptiness. Okay, we just felt there is more emptiness in what we see than there is something. And I don't say this to bum you out. I don't say this to, and I think a lot of people have heard this and know this. Okay? And it's only to make the point that we are all energy. I'm just going to leave the camera there so it's safe. I'm driving, and it's on a little plant I have that is a carnivorous plant for my car. Once in a while, gets a bug or two. And now it's on a space rock I found, I think. I call it my space rock. I don't know what kind of rock it is. Alright, so everything's energy. Everything is energy. And now we're going through some big bumps over a little bridge here. And I'm going to wait until... I hope that's not too bad in the audio. Got a lot going on in my energetic field here. But we're driving safely. We're doing 45 miles per hour because I'm carrying a trailer. And it's calming down. Here we go. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And when two energetic forms that we call human beings come up to each other in the same energetic field, an environment, a space, a spot, a place, a picnic bench, walking down the street, in the middle of the congressional floor, wherever, a battlefield, a field filled with sunflowers, anywhere, it's still energy. The two people that are there, their energy. And what I'm trying to say is it has to do with how much involvement the two want to have with each other and how well each one of them know themselves. What is person A's truth as far as what they understand for themselves about themselves? How much do they understand what and who they are as it aligns to truth? And the same for the other person. How much do these two people want to interact, and how do they want to interact? What is the truth of the interaction? How deep do they want to go? This should be the beginning of all psychology. This sets the stage for interaction. Period. The reason why I'm making such a point about this is because everything else that we would talk about doesn't matter if we do not know these things. Everything else is either a game or overcomplication or an oversimplification. And that's really what the point of this video is. That's the point of what I'm trying to say. Once we know these things, we can move forward. How much do you want to talk to me? How much do you want to hang out with me? How much do you care about me? How much do I care about you? How much do I want to talk to you? How do I want to treat you? How do you want to treat me? If we know these answers, the true answer, so it has to be truthful. It has to be how much truth we can bear. Because truth is a burden to some degree. Especially in a society where there are certain things that we may or may not be speaking truthfully about. For whatever reason, good or bad. There's a lot of reasons. But what's the truth? What's the amount of truth? This is the starting point. This is the undeniable terra firma, anchor, grounding of any relationship. It declares whether it's caretaking or consensual. It declares whether it's true. If a relationship isn't true, well, it's that type of relationship. If a relationship is true, well, then it's that type of relationship. For the most part, I don't know how to mine deeper. I do not know how to take the understanding of a relationship deeper than this. This is the starting point. And I think a lot of people can see that this relationship has to do with it kind of to see things in this way. It's helpful to know more and as much as you can about yourself, and then about your surroundings, and then about those around us. I really hope that this is helpful. I really hope this is helpful. I'm going to stop the video there. Thank you.